Where better to start than in the beginning? And in the beginning, there was computer space. To quote Wikipedia, it was the first arcade video game, as well as the first commercially available video game. I have to say now that at the time of making this video, I couldn't find an emulation of computer space. The game I am playing is a version created by Mike Moose O'Malley. The ships are a bit smaller, and the numbers are different, as you can see here, but apparently it plays accurately. I'll put a link in the description. Anyhow, video games have been around almost as long as computers. However, due to their cost, most computers were confined to research institutes and large corporations. One such game was Space War, which ran on DEC PDP mini-computers. Electrical engineer Nolan Bushnell was introduced to the game by a friend and conceived the idea of monetizing Space War. Along with his colleague Ted Dabney, they invested in a Data General Nova computer but struggled to optimize the game, now named Cosmic Combat, to run enough simultaneous sessions to be economically viable. This was even after creating their own hardware to take some of the load off the computer. Undaunted, they simplified the game and engineered their own custom hardware to operate it. They found a manufacturer and distributor in Nutting Associates, and the game was rebranded Computer Space to align with Computer Quiz, a previous product from Nutting. Bushnell also designed a futuristic-looking cabinet made from fiberglass, which to me still looks pretty cool, especially with the sparkle finish. Computer Space was eventually released towards the end of 1971. Nowadays, well over half a century since its release, the game seems very simple. You control a rocket using rotate left, rotate right, thrust, and fire buttons. This is a control scheme that we will see a lot in the future. There are a pair of hardware-controlled flying saucers that move around the wraparound screen in tandem, taking potshots at you while you do the same. Your missiles can be steered to a certain extent by turning your rocket, and both you and the flying saucers can have only one missile on screen at once. Instead of lives, there's a 90-second time limit, and your objective is to score more points than the flying saucers. There's no game over as such, the game just ends. If you score more points than the saucers, you get an extra round. The less said about the sound, the better. Irritating is a polite way of putting it. Reception to Computer Space was lukewarm, and it sold a less than expected 1,500 units. There had been some debate as to whether the poor sales were due to the controls being too complicated for the average person who had never before seen a video game. Unfazed, Nolan Bushnell and Ted Dabney left Nutting Associates and went on to form their own company, Atari. I'll leave you with a few moments of gameplay if your ears can take it. Until next time, cheerio.